Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Guild Wars Week 70, Day 3. So, of course today is a green Guild War day. We ended up getting the Corsair hero class if you wanted to go get that leveled up some. That of course is pretty good and viable to be using for blue Guild War day. It's very similar to the Magnus hero class that we got a couple weeks ago. In that you can use it for Magnus, of course, for purple, for its potential +3 purple. Corsair is the exact same way, except, of course, it's for blue, not for purple. So you can go and get that upgraded a little bit if you want to today, in order to have that as an option for blue Guild War. However, as far as today, of course, we have green Guild War, so not going to be useful, but blue Guild War, I believe, is tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. So we have Corsair right now. You can then go get it upgrade for tomorrow, and then boom, you're already going to be good to go. I don't believe I personally use it for my blue Guild War, but it is definitely viable into various teams. And this purple, we're probably going to be going down the Magnus route, trying it with Vesperer like we were messing around earlier, see how it goes in an actual Guild War, which we never really got to test yet. So we'll find out how that goes. Because we didn't really have the proper purple Vesperer team until the hero class came into the game. That was the main thing that was missing to be able to put it together. But anyways, green Guild War today. Score is pretty much tied. I'm not sure if we're winning or losing on battles. No, it's pretty much tied with us down on battles, so that works out perfectly. Also, we did end up filling out the guild, but I'm not sure if I'm going to need to kick someone soon. Other than that, yeah, we're a little bit low down, but as soon as I do my battles, we're already going to be back in the middle. So the only reason we're probably so low is because we still have several people who haven't done their battles yet, including myself, so I need to go do that. But anyways, as far as our offensive team, we're going to be running with... Actually, do I need a revamp? No, we don't need a revamp. We're just running a really heavy skull spam. Got to go change to a... Actually, do we even need to change to a mana start? What do we even need with this? Life is okay. Magic we probably don't need. Attack... Given that we already have so much value, we might not need, though it would press damage a bit quicker. I don't know, I'm almost tempted to keep it on life. We actually are set to 24 life because that's what I was using for the defend. But honestly, offensively, it might even be better with that too, just to make sure we don't actually die. Because we have most of the speed already in the team. And he's going to have Entangle anyway, so extra attack's not going to be that particularly good against that. But anyways, guys, hope all of you have been doing well. Hello, everyone. Hello, Jefferson. Hello, Zex. Hello, Polly. Hello, Dartello. Hello, Jellybean. Hello, Adrian. Hello, Hixie. Hello, Birdleaf. Hello, Original. Hello, Zeddicus. Hello, Matt. And hello, Steve. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so, yeah, I think we might go in as is. We're using Titan right now. Titan should be set correctly. I don't believe we need to tweak anything on it. Let me just double check what we're running on it right now. Impact, extra attack, some extra brown stuff, brown storm, barrier, explode, and stun. Looks about right. Could also run enrage with this. Don't think we're gonna need it. If you had something really annoying up front with skull reduction, I would probably consider it. But nope, don't think we need to go and revamp anything. Our banners, or I mean our medals are already set correctly. And yeah, let's get right into it then. Don't believe we have to tweak anything else before we go and get into it. So that should be it. Should be good. Let's get into it then. See how it goes. Hopefully not bad. Now, yesterday didn't go too bad. We're still undefeated this week, so that's good. However, we could be scoring better on each one of these days than we have been. So right off the bat, we're going to want to go and get this queen, or not a queen, apothecary to full mana. Main priority. Unfortunately, no option for it here, so we're probably just going to take a brown, get our barrier up. Gives us the blue, and hopefully we get some good alignment here. He leaves it on red, and that should be match. So now we can go use this. Actually, before I do, let me grab a little bit of free manas there and some board clear. Keep stealing all of the attack, keep getting really high skull damage, and that's going to be match. Brown, do we take it into the other thing? I am tempted to. So we'll go for that. I really need one green right now. One green would be very, very useful. Gonna go for blue for now. Start getting Apothecary up again. We're not gonna have a Cascade for it right now, though. I don't actually want to take that brown because I don't want to give him that skull. So let's take that for now. He just gives us so much value. And that should be very close to match. We'll go and get rid of your attack because first slot's almost guaranteed gonna die there, and it does. Doomed Glaive, we do not have alignment on. However, that's enough to kill, so it doesn't even matter, and he's dead. There we go. 1 down, 4 to go. That works. I still haven't done 1.9k PvP. Well, one nice thing about Guild War Weeks is it pretty much does itself. And I don't think we're going to need to change anything for any of these teams. And the extra life will help us survive the web spinner this time around. We finally got Possessed King. Congratulations. But still no Wild Queen. Any viable replacement for her? For this particular team, I don't think so. This whole team is built around Wild Queen. This particular team. It's a Wild Queen team. I would say Yasmin, but it functions quite a bit different in this particular team. They use the same mana though, and still both have a decent chance of extra turning. Oh, what do I even want here? I'm leaning towards Green Surge actually, even though we could double brown. Yeah, I'm gonna go Green Surge. Go poke. Wait, that was extra turn? Okay, apparently. We'll grab that, get another cast down. And do it on first slot just in case it misses. Okay, good thing I did. Apothecary, do you have alignment? No. Do we have anything? No. So yeah, we'll just have to take skull, I guess. Let him do his thing. Ideally, that would give us something, and it does. And still no Apothecary? Well, we did just deny its mana. So that might be why. And then we stick skull and he's dead. Yeah, Forest Guardian is a okay skull spammer. It's been a lot better in the past. There's been a lot better options that have been added since then. But he's still a good option. And yeah, Tapon Yagwe. Still pretty decent. I'm not sure about Essence of Evil with it though, because you might have a little bit of a mana issue in that particular situation. Speaking of that, he's actually almost doing the same thing right now. I don't know, generally I would advise not doing Essence of Evil in pure green teams, though of course it's kind of weird that he's trying to use it on Green Guild War Day. But I don't know, I find it to be a little clunky. Just because you need to feed it a lot of mana. Unless you're using something like Leprechaun or something similar, I don't feel like it gets enough mana. And the reason Leprechaun would give it enough is as +1 and it has mana at start. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I just take Skull. Unfortunately, I gave him an extra turn though. The biggest issue here is we're going to lose that Essence of Evil that I was just making mention of. Good job. No, we should be fine. We are not frozen on purple, right? Good. So we'll see that. And Wild Queen we actually can't really cast at the moment. More so because the Entangle off of Wild Queen than anything. So it's preventing us from doing it. Okay. That dying will actually help us a lot. If our hero could just die right now, that'd be great. Let's see. There we go. Now stop taking turns. No! We actually lost there. We technically did not die to Essence of Evil, though. We died to the Entangle on first slot. Whatever did Entangle to first slot. Actually, it might have been his hero class that did it. But whatever did Entangle to first slot's what made us lost there, unfortunately. How useful is Three Sisters weapon? Which one is that? Probably not too useful. I do not even recall what weapon that is, to be honest. Three Sisters, Three Sisters. I'm pretty sure that's one of the useless ones. I'll go double check. Generally, if I don't know the weapon's name, it is not meta. because I normally only remember the ones that are actually useful. Also, these single entangles are being very annoying to us all of a sudden. We don't have Apothecary for it, though. Oh, yes, we do have alignment, and that should be matched. So we get that down. Get our Wild Queen. Also, unfortunately, that previous battle does make it so we finally got our first loss of the week. If that's the only one we get all week, that'll be perfectly fine. Ah, the annoying Orb Weaver. Nothing new. Yeah, let's do this, and he's dead. And then we should have enough to kill him with something, and I'll kill it out. There we go. But yeah, let me go look at that card again before we do our final battle. Three Sisters. Oh yeah, it's useless. You would never use that weapon ever. What is this even from? I know it's from a hero class. What hero class was that from? It's not Merlantis, right? I mean, it's not... Wait, is that Tidecaller's weapon? Gosh, that's an old weapon then. I thought this was a little bit newer than Tidecaller. So it might be Tidecaller's weapon. But yeah, you would never use this weapon ever. It is a very useless weapon. It's not a single instance you would use that. Doomed Glaive, Anu Scepter, Rope Dart, anything like that would be better than in essentially every situation. It's not like a single one way, and it wouldn't be better than it. Okay, I'll take that for now. So there's a little mana thing. We'll try for the thing off of Sky. Oh wait, oh gosh, Web Spinner, you do so much damage so quick. We're almost already dead on hero. Speaking of almost dead, we're now dead on hero. Okay, Apothecary, carry us. Go throw that down. Wild Queen. Definitely need a not miss. We're gonna do it on hero just in case. Good. Apothecary, we do not have a spot for you. I really need it though. Actually, do we? I must be better off taking mana here. Let him poke us. Apparently double poke, but should be fine now. Just play it safe. I'm gonna do it down the line. Oh, I guess that wasn't too safe. That's why you sometimes do the other one. Because if you do get lucky, the other one will then have the higher attack, which is not what you want to see. Well, that's a little unfortunate, but I got through. Did quite a bit worse than it normally does, though. Mostly to Entangle mechanic being very bad to us. Yeah, I was on track for 9,500. But unfortunately, did take the one loss. But there we go. And that puts us all the way back in the middle of our bracket as well. As far as score across the guild, it's still not too bad. A 26,420. Let's see how many people are above that. 1, 2. I was expecting a few more than that. Looks like a lot of people got a loss this week. Yeah, only 2 people above us right now. But that'll be funny if we can actually keep Paragon for like an entire year. No, I highly doubt that would happen. I think we're on the 3 Paragon streak right now. I don't think I've ever broken a 3 Paragon streak. There we go. Let's see. Sun Spirit blows up board so often S of Evil gets what it needs. Yeah, as long as you can mana generate for it, it's fine. The biggest issue is any team that can't mana generate enough for it. Your second fleet delve suggestion from the years ago is excellent. The Mountain Crusher, Apothecary, Iron Gut, and Possessed King. Oh yeah, that's still meta. Mountain Crusher, Apothecary, Iron Gut, Possessed King is still just as meta as it's ever been. You can run that for pretty much any faction that allows for those colorations, and it will still work. But yeah, it's a pretty solid option. You can do a few replacements to it these days. Most noteworthy one is you can actually get something cheaper than Possess King in last slot and replace it with Mirage Queen. This is actually sometimes better because it has Curse, which is a guarantee removal of a immune to Devour, whereas Possess King can be a bit luck-based. However, Possess King has higher mana accumulation. But still, yeah, Battle Crusher, Apothecary Iron Gut, Possess King, still very valuable for higher level delves. Anything 200 plus it works very effectively on. The sound of the stream is too low. Oh yeah, this program did update. I didn't bother resetting any of the settings. I can go try adjusting it some real quick. Let me see. How low is it? It doesn't look that low. Are you sure? Huh. I don't know. Does it sound low to anyone else as well? But yeah, this program did update like half an hour before I started streaming. And I didn't actually adjust any settings. But from what I can tell on my thing, it's not that low. The volume right now. But is anyone else having a low volume problem? Like lower than normal? Let's see. Also, hello Mobarashi, welcome. Oh yeah, someone else did say you sound low. Is it that low right now? Let me see. Where's my own live stream? I guess it does sound a little bit lower than normal. Let's see. We'll look into that. I'm not sure of any way to make it higher at the moment. That won't. That won't. But yeah, I'll adjust the settings a little bit later. In the program itself, it doesn't seem like it can go any higher than what I have it at right now. But yeah, I'll adjust it for next stream. Should hopefully be fine. Is there anything else on the mic that I might have lowered? Well, turn the gain up. I believe that's up, right? Yeah, there we go. There, just the gain up a little bit. That should help if nothing else. Easiest quick fix. But anyways, let's go move this over. Because sometimes when I move the mic, the gain moves a little bit, so that might have been it as well. Might not have even been the update's faults. Also, since I was just in the reward page, I might as well go do that right now. Why not? Let's go hand out code. Redeem code time. And we'll go do dailies, and then we'll, I'm probably not going to be messing around with the Corsair hero class. Of course, it is something that you might want to go and level up some. However, I already have it maxed, so I have no need to actually go out of my way to go do it. So we're not going to go poke at that event. Hopefully they do a nice rework to it. They did say that they're likely going to be reworking class events very, very soon. And by very, very soon, I mean they only have a few more hero classes to add. And they are guaranteed doing a patch before then, addressing that. And it's not next patch. It's most likely 4.8 patch whenever that comes around. Still don't know exactly when that'll be. But anyways, here's the redeem code. Give the same reward as always. 200 souls, 2,500 gold, 2 treasure maps, and a gem key. Use on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section. And your invite code can be found underneath your settings menu. And redeem code is right over there in chats. It's actually 25 free gems for about 15 minutes. However, as I explained in the past, taking tribute is upwards of 1,000 gems per hour. Of course, you can't take that much, you can't just farm it for an entire hour. But it's one of the reasons why I generally don't go for as many of these small gems, especially now that I use the phone to take the tributes a little bit more often whenever I can. We kind of don't need to take the small amount of gems now, because that's only accounts for about 1 minute of taking tribute is how long the 15 minutes of doing the Explorer would actually be. Or not the Explorer, but the class event. And if I actually needed the class XP, I would consider it. But when I don't need any of the class XP, I personally do not consider it worth it. But if you needed both the gems and the class XP, it could be worth it. But if you only need the gems, then it's not worth it. So if it was any hero class I didn't already have at 100, I'd probably go for it. The only problem is I have most of them at 100. Except for 7, I'm going to say? 6 or 7. You watched the last video on Corsair. Was helpful. Crossing your fingers that you stay in the top 100. Hopefully. Hello, Captain, and welcome. And yeah, we'll be going over the new hero class that came out a couple weeks ago this Saturday, most likely. Also, event video is still not up. I really do need to get around to that. Very soon, TM. Oh no, I've personally just been feeling really off lately. I'm not sure why. But I really do need to get to it. The next video that we'll probably have up will be, of course, the class, or not the class, the new faction that's coming out tomorrow. Of course, that's going to be very relevant, and we'll be going over it, streaming it, and messing around and getting it maxed. Obviously, going to be doing level 500 pure faction for the faction. Probably won't be getting around to it till Saturday night or Sunday night, depending on where it falls, though. You blame Chicago for me feeling off. No, I was kind of feeling off even prior to that, to be honest. I'll take that for now. How long did it take you to get 20% mana badge, by the way? It doesn't take too long. Well, I shouldn't say that. It could take a while. It could take like 10 hours to get. Of just grinding Explore at 12 over and over again. Also, we got red deeds today, by the way. Forgot to mention that earlier. 4 red deeds to go to our pile. Yes, you can still do class events for 2 XP towards any hero class you want for the earlier battles. That is correct. Oh, sorry. What was your earlier question about class XP, Zakid? My bad. Any suggestion for changes to make in the class EXP grinding team? Rowan, hero. You should never use Rowan in first slot. Hero, Scurvy, Sea Dog 2 times. Only change I would make is move hero to first slot. You never want to have Rowan in first. Sunbird first is fine. Rowan first you'd never want to do. Because if it gets hit by Skull, you lose value on its damage. Also, why am I running this against that? That is not something I should be doing. Should be running key team here. Team's only good against lower level content, or you know, things that have lower stats on them. Nice, and I'm just gonna bait him out with this because he can't stop all of them, and he's dead. Yeah, that's one of the other reasons why I don't complete out the class events. It is possible to be one single sigil short occasionally with how it falls due to bad luck. And generally, I would consider it not worth it to go for that final pack. It's one of the reasons why I don't go for any of them at all. If you try going for the event, I'm not sure what the exact percent chance comes out to, but there's some amount of chance that buying to tier 3 is actually surprisingly not enough to complete out the event, which is kind of absurd because you're already paying what is that, 250 to get that far, and then for like one extra battle you might end up needing, which happens way more often than it should, you would end up needing a whole extra 250 gems. That's why I generally don't consider it. So you're having to spend something like 500 gems just to get the event done. It's one of the reasons why I generally advise completely avoiding this event other than the free battles. If you're even going to do the free battles. So generally you should be doing the free battles. I personally haven't been because if the only loot we're getting is 25 gems, I personally don't consider it worth it. We're just farming Explore or something. But yeah, I would definitely avoid it. Do you think Major Orb of Ascension should max out medals on a troop as well as make them relevant after you craft Zugoff? That seems like it might be a little bit too powerful. Blue orbs are already insanely good value. And I highly doubt they would give it even more value on top of how good of a value it already has. I do wish there was an alternative method to meddling, though. or you know, like an alternative way to get them, or some kind of other thing to help upgrade them. But I don't think they're ever going to add it to Orb Ascension though. To Power Orb maybe, because that would make sense if it was included on a Power Orb, because that would even give it some actual extra value for actually upgrading into a Power Orb. Because right now, a Power Orb is never worth crafting unless you're putting into Zugoff. There's not a single other situation other than for making it into a Zugoff where it is worth using. However, if they made a Power Orb actually include metals on it, it would actually be worth using all of your orbs to go make a Power, in some instances. But yeah, Power Orb, yes, I honestly do feel like they should add it to Power. Orb of Ascension, no, but Power, yes. Alright, what you said about Zugoff makes more sense now. I was wondering why you were mentioning Zugoff in there. But yes, I do agree that they should add it to Power Orb. The function of also unlocking all metals on the troop. That would also make Power Orbs viable to use on Mythics, which is something you would generally never do. Let's see, what do we need here? Grab our golds. Grab our, I'm gonna take red for now. Let's get our destroy going. Anyways, key to key. Yeah, as far as class events are concerned, I highly advise never, ever, ever spending gems on them unless you have over 10,000 gems. That is how bad it is to actually spend gems on class events. And the only reason you would spend gems on class events is if you're planning on dumping a few thousand on it in order to... excuse me. If you're planning on dumping a few thousand on it in order to unlock the hero class. Or, sorry, to power level the hero class, I meant to say. Anyways, that's that. I believe we go and switch over to... Oh, gosh. I've been running with the wrong thing this entire time. But let's go switch over to armors. Because obviously Rowan needs armor. I was running HP for the other ones because it works better for Guild War. But I forgot to switch it back after Guild Wars. But let's go and run through some EXP. I still need to go get this hero class leveled for tomorrow. Or actually more so for Saturday. But I'm probably going to be recording it either tomorrow or sometime on Saturday. Probably, I'm not sure. One of the two. But regardless, let's go get this thing leveled. We still have a little bit to go on it. And it's not all the way there yet. End of tomorrow's stream, we'll definitely have it. 100%. Especially since we'll be able to power level it through lower level faction as well. To some capacity. But right now we're at level 65. And we need that to be 70 by Saturday. Which we should easily manage. Probably get to 66 or 67 right now. Probably aim for 67. Should be able to. And then go from there. And then we could easily get the last 3 levels. Most of which would probably just come from the faction itself. And he's already dead. Use fire and ice. Only have one scurvy sea dog, the weekly glory troop, and another converter. Forgot for the switch. Oh yeah, for the event, all you would really need to do is run scurvy sea dog into any damage that you want. You can do a Bonnie Rose. You can do a AoE hero weapon. But basically, you just do scurvy sea dog into the damage. And that's all you really have to do for the event. It works out fine. Yeah, forget what color tomorrow's faction is. Should be from our Grim Woods. And the troops are pretty useless. However, pure faction is going to be very, very annoying. And the main reason for that is they have a bunch of transforms. And the annoying thing about transform is even if they transform into something useless, they will be gaining all of their stats whenever they transform back. So when they transform into one form into another, they're going to be right back at full durability every single time they do that. And they do not have their level when they transform by their own means. If you transform them, if you transform the enemy or if the enemy transforms you, it'll half the level of the troop. However, when a troop transforms itself, it does not. So it's just going to keep cycling through really high durabilities over and over again. And if they get really lucky, it's going to be some really long battles. It's going to be super annoying. Luckily, we won't really need to deal with that until pure faction. Everything prior to that, while we still could theoretically deal with it, we should kill it quick enough that it won't be a factor. Or at least a really minimal factor if it does become any at all. Taking her faction to 200. Yeah, I'm probably going to 200 it. I'm probably going to 200 it and 7 potion it initially. Maybe 8 potion it initially. But I'm not sure if I want to use rush method. We used rush method that one Tuesday. We ended up doing one of those recent factions for quite literally the entirety of it. I think it was the Wednesday or the Tuesday I came back, wasn't it? One of them or something like that. But yeah, it was the Tuesday I came back. I ended up doing it, like literally immediately when I came back. I ended up doing it. But yeah, we can end up doing the exact same thing for the new one if we really want to, because I feel like we're gonna need a lot of stats for the final battle. It just seems like it's gonna be a really annoying mechanic. That'll be hard without a lot of stats. Because every time we don't kill it quick enough, it will get all of its durability back. Yes, it'll help keep your troops alive, but it's also going to keep the enemy troops alive is the problem. And given that the enemy is going to have like double your stats, if not more, it's going to be more beneficial to the enemy than yourself. The other side annoying thing is your main damage source can vary where it's located on your team constantly, because all the troops can constantly keep transforming all over the place, which will not only make your team a weird mix match of things, but also cause it to make it so you don't always have the legends on your team. And the legend is the main thing you want to be able to pressure damage. I'm pretty sure pure faction for next faction, oddly enough, will be starting with like 3 or 4 of the legends. And then by the end of the delve, you're only going to have like 1 of the legends because they just keep transforming over the place. It's going to be really weird. If you do pure faction 300, you could have a legendary pet for when you do 500. Does it fall at that spot? That sounds about right. We could consider it. The only big issue with that is we wouldn't gain the benefit from it that much, because due to the fact that everything on the team transforms constantly, we're not always going to have a large variety on the team. We might, but we also might not. The consistency of it's probably not going to be worth doing that. I would say there are instances where that could be worth it. I don't feel like this faction is going to be one of them, though. And it's mostly because you have no clue if you're going to actually have one of each by the final battle. You could have 4 the same, you could have 2 and 2. You really have almost no control over it due to how random they're going to be. Because every single cast you do on every single thing in pure faction has a chance of making that troop become something that isn't the current troop. They have anywhere from like a 10% to 25% chance each to become something that isn't their self. Oh, yeah, the pets give a okay amount of stats. It's not anything really substantial. Like, one single potion would give you more than all the stats they could possibly give when maxed. Oh yeah, how many stars will Grimwoods have after tomorrow? I didn't even double check that yet. It's something decently high. And by decently high, I think I mean 13. Let me double check. How many does it have right now? And it gets 4 more tomorrow. It is currently at... Oh, it's already at 13. Which means 17? Yeah, because it should go up 1 each time. Yeah, if that's the case, Grimwoods becomes 17 stars tomorrow. Which would make it tied at the second highest starred kingdom in the game. With Forest of Thorns being the highest at 18. I don't think anything else is 18 other than Forest of Thorns. But yeah, Grimwoods should be 17 stars tomorrow. Interesting. I forget what all the other requirements are along the way. Oh, we need 2 max pets, but one of them we can get from the faction. So we pretty much already have that done. Unless we don't already have one completed by some chance. But we should. The weapons we should have, the hero class we should have, I have Ward and Max, so. Yeah, I don't think anything's blocking us, I don't believe. Let me double check the pet. Pet's probably the only thing that might be blocking us. But one of them we can get by the end of this weekend. Grimwoods. Do we have a level 20 pet here? Oops, that's not what I wanted. Grimwoods in this search is what I wanted. It doesn't save it when you do it in the other screen. Yes. Fennekit we already have. And technically you could have gotten this other one max too. However, it's a little bit more of a recent one. So most people probably didn't get little Kirby maxed. But, and obviously no one really did Prancer. This is the event pet from 2 years ago. That was like when events pets were just started to come out pretty much. Like several months after. But, yeah, it's, this Pure Faction will be the second pet. Initially, we're going to be blocked at that level. But, as soon as we get Pure Faction completed, we will have the, pet for 17 stars. Is it Urskea? Okay, I'm confused. Salty and like a bunch of other people were saying it's going to be Grimwoods. The website always said Urskea. And now like half people are saying Urskea and half are saying Grimwoods. Does anyone definitively know what kingdom it is going to be for? Because the files of the game say Urskea. And for the longest time I thought it was Urskea too. But like a lot of people this last week has been saying it's Grimwoods. And even Salty on Monday said it was Grimwoods. From what she understands. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. Let's just leave it at that. Because I'm hearing like half and half both ways. Yeah, we'll know for sure in like 5 hours, so not that big a deal. Find out soon, TM. Use your brown deeds on Urskea, thinking it would be. But all I've heard is that it will be Magrim Woods. Urskea is still one of the better places to do it, though, regardless. Even if there's not a faction. And that's mostly because of the bonus that you get there. Also, speaking of knowing factions in advance, we should know the next 3 to 4 factions starting in about a week from now, because we're probably getting the 4.75 patch next week, probably on Monday or Tuesday. And once we get the patch next week, most likely, we should know at least a few months in advance as far as the upcoming events. So we'll be able to predict where we might want to use our scrolls after that point as well for some of the colors. Particularly the main one I want to know is when will the next magic purple be? Because there's 3 right now and I don't know which one I want to go for because we haven't had a confirmed faction yet. Because I should have enough purple deeds to have enough to get another maxed purple kingdom by the time next faction comes out. And by next faction I mean the faction after tomorrow's faction. Because obviously we know tomorrow is not going to be magic. Regardless if it's Magrim Woods or Urskea, it's not a magic one. Hello, Earsat. Welcome. Decent team against L&D for Yellow Day. Been having a good win rate with this team, but it's a bit slow. What is the team? What is that team of which you post? It's the only thing I hate about the codes. It's so hard to tell what a team is just by looking at it. Is everyone else getting enough Imperials? No. I would advise saving them for purples. Or for Magic Kingdoms, I mean. What medals would you award to Rowan and Leprechaun? For Leprechaun, you likely just want to do 6 Ultra Rares. And for Rowan, you want to do 6 Epics. You don't really need to do any kind of fancy method with them. One thing you could do though is use 1 Ultra Rare, 2 Ultra Rares, and 1 Epic for the Leprechaun. However, there's such a surplus of Ultra Rares that you might as well just use the Ultra Rares. But yeah, Imperial shortage is a really big problem in the current state of the game. Because we've been a bit dry right now on Imperial tasks. Which is why I haven't been upgrading every single kingdom anymore. I've been kind of hoarding them for the Magic Kingdoms. Until we have over 12 Imperials. Which currently I only have 7 spare. But once that number is 12, I'll probably start upgrading kingdoms that aren't Magic again. But until we have 12, I won't be. And as far as writs, there really isn't any point in putting writs into anything that isn't purple right now. That might change in the future, but as it currently stands, purple you should 100% be converting them into. They're as useful to convert into purple as it is shards into diamonds. It's like the only thing you ever bother converting them into. At least in the current state of the game. Why didn't I just take that in the first place? Keep forgetting 4 times his full mana. Which works out quite conveniently. Level 66. We're almost there. 1 more level. For that, I believe we just need about 50 more wins, pretty sure. Easy way to check. Yep, 47 more wins. And we'll have it. So we'll keep going until we get that then. Maybe that should take about 15 more minutes or so. 47 wins at a rate of 3 per minute. Approximately. Oh yeah, I didn't check your team, my bad. Let me go do that. I don't have a thing open to go and copy paste them. I really hate that this program doesn't do that anymore. Let me see if I can tweak in any way that would bring that back up. But let me see. Better just have it at little side windows just so I don't have to keep bringing it up like this every single time when I want to. But let me go to my own live stream. Leave a like on my live stream. Also, feel free to leave a like on the live stream. Currently at 10 likes. Let's see if we can reach 20 likes. Also, let me mute my own stream. Let me go copy the team. Where to go? Where's your thing? There it is. Copy, copy. Am I in a battle right now? I need to make sure I'm not in a battle. Let's just kill that out. Okay. And now we can go see what that team is. Troops. Let's see. Put this right over here. What can I get rid of? Gosh, I have so many video things. This we probably don't need for anything. Oh. Oh, I was already using this for one of my teams. That's fine. Actually, I used a different variant of it. Oh, that's a pure wild folk team? Why do I still have that from ages ago? Anyways. Gorgolfa Divinia. Oh, the old Gorgolfa Divinia combo. That actually used to be meta at one point. It's really slow though, which is why most people don't bother running it anymore. But well, it's not really slow, but it's a little bit clunky to have 2 exploders like that. But it's really tanky nonetheless. The only real big issue this team would be up against is instant kills, but there's normally not too many instant kills out there that would be ran, unless you're up against like life and death team. But even then, you probably have Divinia, enough cleanse off Divinia that would be fine. But yeah, that would be fine. Just keep poking with Rope Dart. Keep chipping down with Infernus. I think someone was asking for Infernus replacement. Well, this is Yellow Guild War. I'd probably think a Skull Spammer then. None of them work color-wise, though. I guess Divinia kind of does. It denies the other color, though, which is the problem. I'm not sure what you would replace Infernus with if you didn't have it there. But it does work. You could even try the more offensive option too and put Divinia down. But I don't know, it's probably better to keep him up. Just go for the mana. You definitely want to run 20% mana start with this since you're not running Divinia though. So yeah, Gorgolfa and Divinia rolling quicker. And then once they get going, they should be fine. It's just they're going to be a bit of a slow start. Once you get them going, it should be a pretty decent amount of mana. As long as the enemy doesn't deny yellow in any way. In which case they're going to mana accumulate at a much slower rate. And of course having Priest max, or at least at 70, gives an extra +1 yellow as well. For +2 total. But anyways. Yeah, that would work for Yellow Guild War if you want to run it. Actually, what do I currently run for Yellow Guild War? My current yellow is, yeah, Skull Spam. That was the exact thing I was thinking on the other one when I was saying to replace the Divine Ishbala. But it's Gorgolfa, Doomdax, Divine Ishbala, Quillen. It's basically trying to use a Divine Ishbala Quillen team, but making it pure yellow is essentially what this whole team is. You could also use Rope Dart instead of the Doomdax if you want. However, I've been finding it a little bit better with Doomdax, oddly enough. Unless you really need the Entangle for Rope Dart. But from a speed perspective, Doomdax seems to work a bit better. Though Rope Dart is safer. Did you do the class event already? No. What was your team? I didn't actually make one for it. However, I can go show one real quick, I guess. Might as well. At least some people were asking too, I think, earlier. But all you'd really have to do is build either around Captain Skullbeard for mana accumulation, or Scurvy Sea Dog for mana accumulation. or even a combination of both. So we can go that, we can go that. And now we kind of want to go damage source, go double Scurvy Sea Dog in that. And now we just go for any damage source that's blue AoE. So literally just type in blue and get all enemies. And we have the option of Dawnbringer, Doomed Blade, and Fire and Ice, and Orb of Winter. You wouldn't want to use that one. But any of these 4 weapons, you can pretty much run for the entirety of it until you need to switch to Mank. And then you just run the same premise, running it with Mank. So right here, for the sake of it, we'll just run with Dawnbringer. And then we change our banner accordingly. Change our classes, whatever we want to go level. Which Arc Magnus is pretty bad in this team, but hey, we want to level it, so we'll just go with it. Corsair would actually be way better. I guess for the sake of showing it, we'll do Corsair. We already have it maxed, though. And then we just need to change banner to something. Oh, what do I even want? Probably a +2 blue, +1 yellow. Definitely +2 blue, that's for sure. Has to have +2 blue. The purple we don't need. Yeah, that'll work. +2 blue, +1 yellow off of Frost Fire Keep. Almost forgot that's even a banner. That was the most recent faction. But yeah, this is all you would have to run. Oh, you'd also want to start it with half mana start. Actually, or not half mana start, 20% start. But actually, you might not necessarily need that. But let's go take our mana. Ideally get this up all the way. Trying to get a good convert off it. Doesn't seem like we really have an option though. Which is unfortunate. I'm just going for it. Need some mana. And then a swipe, rinse, repeat. And Captain Skullbeard you can use for some board clear. And just do it that way. Yeah, that's all you'd really need to do for the event. And you can do things cheaper than Dawnbringer. You can do any of the weapons I mentioned. Pretty much any blue weapon that hits all enemies would be fine. And there seems to be about 4 or 5 options. But yeah, any weapon on that page would work. Except for Ice Ages. But Fire and Ice, Doomed Blade, Dawnbringer, and the easiest one to obtain is Orb of Winter. Any of those would work. And you just feed them with Scurvy Sea Dog for full mana. And once you reach the later levels, you just change to Mang instead. And just run Mang as your option for going through them. Yeah, if you're running Orb of Winter, you can tank with 1 Scurvy Sea Dog if you're going to run double Scurvy. Loading screen. Hello. Yeah, this is probably going to be one of the most annoying 500 pure factions we've ever had to do. Mostly because they're troop. But the layout definitely doesn't help either. Do I know a team I will attempt it with first? Probably 4 of the Legends. Or whichever one is tankiest with 3 of the Legends. And the main reason for that is they're going to constantly be changing anyways. And the Legend is the most important one to have. And for that reason, I'd probably just want to have all Legends. And even if you go all Legend, by the time you get to Final Battle, it is not going to be all Legend. So might as well start with the better option. Yeah, you're gonna need a decent amount of luck. More so the enemy luck being bad than your luck being good. If that makes any sense. Jose, I'm not sure what you're asking. Oh, no mythics. A blue team with no mythics? Sure. Actually, I believe my default blue team is actually a blue team with no mythics, isn't it? Oh no, I use Vespera. Wait, do we use Vespera now? Why can I not remember what my previous team was now? But you can center it around Corvash. You can center it around, oh, what were the other good blue options for it? I know Corvash is one of the better ones. Trying to think of non-mythic though, like pure non-mythic. Because the options I keep thinking of use mythic. But the main things you'd want to incorporate are things like Apothecary, Azura, potentially Acid Spirit depending on your team. Aquaticus is good, but it's mythic. Captain Skullbeard depending on your team. Captain McCall even, depending on what their team is. If you want a Submerge counter. What other things are not useless that are not mythic? Tesla, wherever she is. Corvash is one of your best options to consider. Let's see. Non-mythics. Almost just said Iron Gut. Hindla. You can build almost a pure giant team if you really want to out of it. And just use like Dawnbringer as your hero class. Assuming you own Dawnbringer. Though that's theoretically a mythic, but not a mythic in a traditional sense. What else is not useless under Legend here? There's not that many. Gosh, I no wonder why I always use mythics for Blue Day. There's very few options. Merline's good. There's double silence on it. Depending on the situation, Moonsinger, if you need to deny out there, purple could be good. If that's relevant for your battle. What else? Oh, Queen Isabel is actually pretty good. However, most of the things you synergize it with are mythics, though. Scion, very situational, but can also be fine for the drain. I'd probably skip on Queen Mab. Might as well just use Frost Mage hero class. Rowan you can't use because you can't use her Skaeus Shield, and there's probably not a good enough armor buff for it. So you might as well skip it. What was this? Isn't this one of the old event? Yeah, this was one of the old event ones. That thing would be useless. Good old Vespera. Who can probably solo the entirety of the day, gosh. Spirit Dancer could be okay depending on the situation. Constantly keep summoning Spirit Foxes. Toloco is okay. It's basically like Rowan. But can actually be useful for this Guild War. And what else? Mirage Queen, though it depends on your team. But Elementals get half mana start. And you have Convert Greens to Doom Skulls. And you have 4 times Curse. Depending on your team, Treachery could even be good. Though I don't think there's enough blue Nagas currently. I think I skipped over it, but Farce Troll is pretty good. Especially if you're building up a giant team. Especially since it feeds into Hindla as well. And potentially into your hero weapon if you're using a green-blue hero weapon. Or something similar, like Dawnbringer. Well, they wouldn't feed into Dawnbringer, but still. War is one of the better things to feed into Queen Isabel, but it's mythic. So that doesn't count. Oh yeah, duh, Web Spinner. Duh! I know I was forgetting one. Yeah, Web Spinner you can also just use first slot. However, the problem is there's a lot of good green blues. And you'd be blocking something like a Yasmin if you did have it on your team. Winter Imp's good, but there's very few teams you could use it with, mostly Vespera. And yeah, that's pretty much all the better options you have to build out blues. You kind of just have to see what you have and go from there. And double check what mythics you might have for synergy purposes. Blue is one of those more annoying days. I feel like red and blue are probably the 2 hardest. Red, I believe, is a little bit harder. But most of blue's better combos do use mythics. Corsair, Tome Robber. Oh yeah, I did completely skip over Tome Robber. Tome Robber can be used for skull spam pretty easily. Especially since Corsair hero class can give it gold. Captain Skullbeard and Captain Macau. Oh yeah, didn't I end up mentioning it too? Duh. I haven't showed that earlier, but I didn't show for the video because video hasn't actually happened yet. But Rogue Blue Guild War. We did a Withering Staff, Tome Robber, Captain Skullbeard, and Captain McCall. Though you can replace our first slot weapon with quite a few other things. You can replace it with Doomed Blade. You can replace it with Rope Dart. You can replace it with Interceptor. Yeah, there's several things you could do it with. This one I just did with a Withering Staff. But yeah, you can do Rope Dart as well. Yeah, it's one of the ones that will be in the video soon, TM. We've mentioned it on stream, we just didn't do the video thingy. Web Spinner, Withering Staff, Possess King, and Skyla. Oh yeah, I didn't make any mention of Skyla. Skyla does have Perpetual Skullstorm. Pretty situational, but it can be very good. The only problem is the enemy gets to use it as well, so it can backfire pretty heavily. It's not that consistent for Guild Wars, which is why I generally don't run it for Guild Wars. But if you want high risk, high reward, it is good for that. Oh, so we should almost have all that XP by now. No, actually. Gosh, I've been doing a lot of chatting if we've only gained that much XP in that time then. Because we need 34 more. Though there is a good chance we're actually going to get literally all of it tomorrow. So you could just save it for tomorrow and not even grind it right now. Because there's a chance we're going to get a surplus of it tomorrow. Because tomorrow we're going to be doing a ridiculous amount of factions. And for all the earlier factions, we're going to be using Arc Magnus the whole time. And for that, we're going to be gaining 18 XP per delve. That's going to add up pretty quick. Given that we're going to be doing a dozen or two. Probably closer to 2. You just realize you haven't played Corsair Hero class long enough to get it to level 92, but never selected the level 70 trait. Oh gosh. Though it might have been that you copied someone else's team. If you ever copy someone else's team and they don't have a slot there and it's empty, it will replace yours with an empty one too. You can even do that manually by setting a 0 there rather than a 1, 2, or 3. So you could actually have like a trait set for 1, 5, have nothing set for 10, and then, you know, have the rest set. It's kind of weird how it is, but it does allow you to actually set nothing, which is kind of cool. It's the only instance where you can get rid of traits on a troop. Is on the hero format there. In no other instance can you ever get rid of a trait, but you can on hero. Ow. Is that being so weird? Like the joint right there is like hurting out of for no reason. Have I ever used Doppelganger in my team? No, mostly because it's not useful for the most part. It's good for lower level players to try mythics that they don't have. But to actually viably use it in a team is not useful. Because assuming you own everything in the game, you might as well just use what you want to use there instead. Very rarely would copying the enemy actually be good. But to diversify your team some, I guess it could. If you're in a place where you're restricted to a certain color and you want something that's not that color. Yeah, Copycat and the Legend are the best two things from that kingdom. If you're looking to do faction or anything like that. Or even just in general. Because the Legend can copy while doing damage. And the other one can copy allies to keep you alive. And you can also copy allies that you end up stealing from the enemy as well, of course. Does Queen Jezebel give attack to your allies or to the enemies? It gives it to the ally it targets. However, it does trigger after the fact, not prior. Which isn't really clear on many cards. But she'll give an attack and armor buff to whatever ally you target. However, for the attack boost ratio that it has, the attack applies after the boost ratio is calculated, not before. So her extra damage, or the extra attack buff that she does not get calculated into the damage of the initial hit. It will for the subsequent hit, obviously, but not for the hit that it casts on. Which is weird because quite a few other troops are the other way around. It's pretty inconsistent throughout the game. Like something like Vosh Dogon, for example, that one mythic, the HP buff that it gets from devouring an ally does go to its boost ratio. Whereas something like Queen Jezebel doesn't count it until after. And then it's too late. But if anyone else has any other questions, do let me know. Otherwise, we're probably going to be slowly wrapping up. And, yeah, tomorrow we'll have a new faction, which should most likely be from our Grimwoods. With that faction, we'll be, of course, messing around with it, going and getting closer to 500, going over a bunch of teams for, and all the normal stuff we do with it. Should be one of the most annoying pure factions in the game, if not the most annoying, so do be wary of that. However, we're still going to get it done. Though it probably won't be done until Sunday. Unless we do rush method. But even then, due to the layout of the delve, rush method might not even be that quick. Which, for that reason, we might start using rush method pretty early then. If we're already going to have to do a lot of rooms. Not sure if they finalized the layout though, because they have changed it from Monday stream to Friday before. But I think that only ever happened once. Yeah, you can use it to boost up your Iron Gut. That would be perfectly fine. I was gonna say to use Stargazer or something, but yeah, if you're using on Blue Guild War, you can't. Not only would it deny your mana, it doesn't even use blue. But yeah, she'd be fine for doing that. You definitely need something to mana accumulate on your team though, if you're gonna be using those two in combination, because that's a lot of mana to fill. To get that going. Once you do, after you start getting Devourers with Iron Gut, this could be a lot of damage, since Queen Jezebel can use all that attack that you gain off of Iron Gut to boost ratio her ability, which would work out really well. Mountain Crusher and Apothecary. Oh, so you're just running it for a team. Yeah, that would work then. Yeah, Mountain Crusher Apothecary is still a pretty good combo for mana accumulation. Hasn't changed. And one nice thing is a cleanse spam too, which is nice. And barrier spam, since you're most likely using a hero class that can barrier off a brown. Oh, you're using it for level 12 Explore? I guess that would work for level 12 Explore. There's quicker things out there, but you might not have them currently. So based on what you have, that's probably fine. Though, one thing to consider too is, Arskaea Shield into Rowan still works as well for upscaling. And that's super cheap to obtain. You probably have all the components laying around. It's very similar to the Explorer team we normally use, just with our Skea Shield instead, pretty much. Normally you do want to be aiming a little bit below 1 per minute for Explorer. 12. Even if you're running it without Scorpius. If you're running it with a Scorpius build, you're actually aiming for about 30 seconds per battle. But for all other teams, you should be aiming for about a minute under per battle. So it might be taking a little bit too long to get it buffed. Because their Skea, even though you have to go and buff up several times with their Skea shield build into Rowain, you end up accumulating mana quick enough off everything, that's fine. Because you basically just have to cast shield a few times and then Rowain. It's worth trying if you haven't already, because it might be quicker than what you're currently using for your setup. But your setup for now is probably fine though, regardless. But it's worth considering the Skea shield into Rowain, with Leprechaun and Mirage Queen. Or you could even replace that Mirage Queen for another option if you want. It's not actually needed necessarily. And that one it's not. In a normal Explorer quick kill build it is for the lower level range. But for the higher one it actually isn't, because half mana start isn't as needed on Rowain, since you don't actually catch Rowain until you've cast their Skea shield a few times. But anyways, does anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise, we'll probably wrap up. Do you have 2 copies for Tesla? Oh yeah, you could also run double Tesla. Double Tesla's pretty nice. Oh, we gained a level too. I didn't even realize we were that close. Oh, that went by really quick all of a sudden. But anyways, there we go. Well, I wanted to reach level 67. There we go. We reached level 67. Nice. So we need to go get 3 more levels tomorrow. We should easily be able to do that passively just off of factions. And if not, we'll definitely finish it out tomorrow night. But anyways, guys. That'll wrap it up for now. We'll be back tomorrow. Oh gosh, I have no clue what time we'll be starting. Either around 10 a.m. or noon. Probably closer to noon, but I'm going to see if we can start a little bit earlier. Probably closer to noon just because I do want to guarantee make sure I get the video up. So I'm just going to say noon because I want to make sure 100% I get the video up before we start streaming the faction video. So for that reason, yeah, we'll start at noon tomorrow. The faction video will hopefully be up a little bit earlier than that. Hopefully even before 10 if I wake up early enough. But yeah, we'll go over the faction video, all the teams for that, and then we'll go and actually mess with the faction at noon Eastern Standard Time. Mess with that for a few hours, see how far we get, see how annoying this faction is. Well, it shouldn't be too annoying. What's going to be more annoying than anything is pure faction for it. And we'll go from there. Anyways, guys, hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. New faction in, what is that, 5 hours from now? And we'll go mess around with that tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. Hope you all have a wonderful night. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And I will catch all of you very soon. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. And goodbye, everyone.